Well, y'all, we made it back. We had a whirlwind trip to West Virginia. We were only up there for 4 days, just long enough. We wanted to take our trailer up and unload it so we can take it to Florida next month and get all my Christmas and books and things like that. And I really didn't film that much up there. I apologize. We were just so busy, and it was just a a busy trip. We got there like at 11 o'clock at night, and we walked into like a Halloween thing. I mean, we had spider webs everywhere. I mean, as soon as I walked in the door, a spider web hit me in the face. The spiders have never been that bad before. We hadn't been there for like 3 months, and they just really, they took over, y'all. And we got there so late, and then Greg had trouble finding the keys, and anyway, long story short, I said we got to go to a hotel because I'm too tired to clean all these spiders and spider webs up tonight. So we ended up going to a hotel, which was 40 minutes away because we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere out there. But anyway, we got there the next day, and I did battle with the spiders, and got them all cleaned up, got all of our bedding and everything washed, and got the house, you know, set up. And then Greg was able to finish our laundry room and our butler's pantry this trip, which was amazing. And I even got them painted. So when we go back up, I can put the washer and dryer in the laundry room and put cabinetry in the butler's pantry. So excited about that. The next trip up, a lot will get done. And I'm going to try to bring lights so I can film inside the house. It's kind of dark in there without having lights. And I forgot my lights. And just to be honest, y'all, we were just so busy and I was so tired, I didn't even think about filming. But anyway, this video is about the 6 things that you should be doing if you want to retire early. And kind of this is like the blueprint of what we did. The first thing you need to do is to make a budget of just the bare necessities of what you absolutely have to have. And I showed you what our budget was, and our bare necessities cost us under $600 a month. And that's like your electric, your water, your insurance, your cell phone, and things like that. Just the bare necessities, y'all. We don't have cable, we don't have any extras, nothing that we absolutely do not need, we do not have. And that's the first thing you need to do. You need to whittle that budget down to like nothing. And then you need to practice living on that budget, y'all. Like not eating out, cooking at home, and just practice living that way and just spending that amount of money and saving the excess. Put the excess in savings. And that would be number 2, is savings. That you need to, while you get that budget like that, you need to be saving the rest. You know, put the rest aside and save it so you have that cushion. And then the third thing would be getting completely debt free. I meant doing whatever it takes to be debt free, like nothing, no car payments, no mortgage, nothing. And maybe that should be number 2, and the savings should be number 3, because after you get debt free, then you're able to save a little bit more. But you absolutely have to be debt free. And whatever that takes to accomplish that, for us, the last thing that we had that was our debt was our home, and we sold it. And that made us completely debt free by selling our home. I know that might be drastic for some people, but y'all, if having a home and having a big mortgage inhibits your financial freedom, and that you're tied to that way of life of having to work so hard just to keep a big home or whatever it is, that to us, that was just not something we wanted to do anymore. And our house was the biggest factor in us achieving financial freedom. Is we got rid of it. So that would be, you know, that's a big one. But getting out of debt, you've got to get out of debt, whatever it takes. Even if you have like multiple vehicles and you got car payments on all of them, maybe sell some of them and, you know, pay one of them off, whatever. But you can't have debt. To retire, you really ought not have debt. To retire the way we have, we absolutely can't have debt. We can't. We live on such a strict budget that debt is not an option for us. And then number 4 would be start a side hustle. And we did that years before. And it takes a while to build it up, like eBay, Etsy, DoorDash, something like that. You start a side hustle, y'all, and then you, after you become debt free and all that, you try to live on just that side hustle money. And we did. We tried to live on just what we were making on eBay, and we were doing good, and we saved our paychecks. We would live on eBay and then save the rest. And it was completely doable. And what we found was what we were making on eBay more than covered everything that that we needed. But we still weren't ready to pull the trigger yet. We still wanted to keep saving just a little bit more. And tell you the truth, you guys, we just weren't ready to let go of our house. And it wasn't until, we got that $13,000 bill, from our homeowners insurance that made us say, we're doing it. And we sold the house. So we ended up retiring a little bit earlier than what we thought we were going to. But it's been great. I mean, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that envelope was pushed. So yeah, start your side hustle and see how much you can make on that, and and try to live off of that. And then the fourth thing would be transportation, getting you some reliable transportation, that something that has longevity, something that you won't have to work on, and something that you own outright. For us, it was a Tesla, and we were just blessed that we were able to buy it outright because, we sold our house and we had money from the sale of the house. So we researched and did all that and decided that a Tesla would fit our needs. And so that's what we ended up buying. And might not be right for everybody else. Like a friend of ours, they bought a Camry, a Toyota Camry, and that's going to be their vehicle that they hope is going to get them through retirement. So it might look different for you, but you need some sort of reliable transportation, even if it's a bicycle. If you live in town, you could just have a bicycle. But anyway, something like that. And then number 5 would be you might have to move, y'all. You might have to try to find a place, an area that you can live inexpensively, somewhere where property taxes are low, where even homeowners insurance, if you choose to have homeowners insurance, that it's low, and just somewhere that the cost of living is cheaper. And for us, that was West Virginia, because the cost of living in Florida was just not in our budget. I mean, we could have eked it out, down there, but it wouldn't have been comfortable. So we chose to live in a state where it's cheaper. So that's what we did. I mean, sometimes you have to make some drastic choices like that. And then the 6th thing would be to own your home outright. I mean, you really need to try to have where you live be something that you own. And not only does it give you security that that you don't have to worry about losing it, but it's just living, or where we live at, tends to take up the most of our budget. Mortgages, rent, that's a big part of a budget. And it fluctuates. Mortgage will fluctuate based on taxes. Rent fluctuates. So you really need to own where you live. And I know some people are opting for tiny homes, and some people are opting for RVs. We opted for a little tiny rundown house in West Virginia in the country. And y'all, I'll tell you right now, we paid $20,000 for this house on 15 acres. It needed a lot of work, but we seen a vision in it, so that's what we did. We bought it. So, and it's taking us a while to fix it up, I won't lie, but it is almost done. It's almost done. So it could look like something like that, buying a rundown house and rehabbing it. I don't know, but you need to try to own where you live outright, if at all possible. You really should. Or something else like we're doing right now. Even though we own our house outright, we're doing the multi-generational living. That might even be an option for you. But anyway, your living expenses, they just tend to be high, so you need to try to get that down. But we've been living this way for a year. It'll be a little over a year now, because it was a year in July. So it is completely, totally possible, y'all, to live like this and be happy and be free. So I hope that those tips helped you. I wish I would have known about them. We just kind of winged it, y'all. We just sat down and said, you know what? We need to make a budget and try to live on that. And we did that. We did that for a while, and we already had eBay. So we did, we had our side hustle going, and we started working hard on it. And then we started saving. And that's another important thing. You need to save and have at least 6 months to a year's worth of income in the bank that you can fall back on if you need it. And always save. I mean, even some months, you know, if our eBay's doing really good, we can save a whole lot. In some months, we might only be able to save like $15, $20, but you need to be able to put something back every month in case of an emergency, whether it be vehicle maintenance, a pet being sick, or anything. But saving's still important. Even though, you know, we didn't retire with a 401k, a pension, or anything like that, we're doing it, and we still save. We don't say that you shouldn't save. We're just saying that you don't need millions of dollars to retire. And you know what? When we get our Social Security, and it's still years away, that's going to be icing on the cake for us. And we might be able to save our Social Security for, you know, for a while, because we don't need it now. We're not using it now. So we don't have that Social Security income coming in. We're living without it. So when we get it, it's like our income's going to increase. So it's completely doable, y'all. And I hope the tips that I gave, like I said, help. And if you have any questions, just ask them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. But financial freedom is truly, it is freeing, and it's achievable. It's just how hard you want to work, you know, towards it, and what do you want to give up for it. I meant, because, you know, having the house and all that, it limits your financial freedom. It truly does. But anyway, I hope that helps you, and I'll talk to you next time.